Well, hello and good morning to you. This is Cliff Graves from Trainwell Boxing. I hope you got your cup of coffee to hand. Sit back, relax. These videos are unedited, unrehearsed. I get on air, as it were, when I feel I've got something to say. I just want to come across natural, okay? Before we get cracking, I need you to understand and appreciate that this is classified as a lecture, okay? I hope I can give you golden nuggets of wisdom and information, which has been through acquired knowledge. Now, some of you have been following, and so for the risk of becoming boring, which I don't want to do, there are newbies coming on that I need to reiterate. Let's get cracking. So I have in the past, right? I have in the past been a trainee of the Kalah, K-A-L-A-H, Kalah Combat system. And I think it's awesome. I think it's an awesome self-defense system. Straight away off the bat, students have exposure to sharp-edged weapon attacks, albeit they're very sensible there at Kalah Combat, and it will be trained with plastic knives and the like, even little water bottles, mineral water bottles, emptied, that can be used. And I relished in that and I loved that. Sadly, I got assaulted there. I don't know if it can show it on the screen. I don't know if you can see it. Try and get up the camera. There. You might not be able to see it. It has faded. It was over, my goodness me, 2025 we are now, aren't we? Well over 25 years ago. But there it was. There it is. There's the vulnerable spot. You catch it there, you're gone. One of the vulnerable spots in the neck area, and there's the bit. So I'm not a paper tiger. I've never started a fight, but I have been rode into stuff, which I think a lot of young men, working class young men, will succumb to at some stage during their life. What do you do if it kicks off like a Western brawl? What do you do? And you haven't done anything, and somebody chunked you straight on the side of the door and sent you flying. Well, what do you do? Well, you fight back, don't you? And then it's escalated to a massive, great big bundle. Think of football violence. Never got involved in football violence ever. But look at them all fighting, all bodies going all over the place. And that's what a Western. Think of John Wayne. Look at the John Wayne films. Very much like that. So I do have an insight. I've had my nose broken. Look at that. Look how flat as that. Do you think that this nose has not been punched before? Because I can tell you it has. I've got a scar there where my eye got cut open. Another scar that side above my lip. So I can tell you something for nothing. I believe my and I don't say this in a sort of glorifying it, but the L plates are off, as it were. Here comes my little dog. Hello, come on in then. Are you in? Come on in. That's who was pushing the door open. My little dog, my little Staffy. Hang on a minute. I told you these were unrehearsed. Well, are you coming in? George? Are you coming in? No, he's just in there. Through there is where our lounge is. Oh, here he comes. I can hear him. I'll see if I can. Come here, George. No, he's probably up on the sofa. Anyway, so I digress. So I believe I can not critique Kalah Combat, but say where I think it could be done better. I have no aspirations of being a critique. I have no aspirations of using this as clickbait or anything like that. I am not interested in earning money through YouTube in any way, shape or form. I'm just using this as a platform to hopefully speak to people that I otherwise wouldn't be able to. A leverage of time, if you like. So I do feel that I am not doing anything spiteful towards Kalah Combat, because I do think it's an awesome format of self-defense. But they do say we don't have all the answers, which is very humble of Kalah, which is very, very humble of Kalah. And I think 90% of the instructors of Kalah Combat are lovely, beautiful human beings. Lovely. And if any of you are watching this, you'll know who I'm referring to. So I won't mention names because they might not want that, and I respect that. But there are some lovely, 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 kind, generous, courteous, nice people. There are also a very small minority, an extreme minority, probably in the 2% out of every 100. If there was 100 UK, which there isn't, but if there was 100 UK Kalah instructors, there'd be 2 which are right wankers and shouldn't be instructors of Kalah. And Eden Adelneck should oust them out as quick as anything for 2 reasons. So I'm not slagging off Kalah Combat. I've taken nearly 10 minutes to explain that. So I watched something that the founder, Eden Adelneck, had sent through. And I thought, absolutely awesome. That has to be the most credible video I've ever seen on knife defense. And I sit here and I study and I look hard, you know, really look hard, deeply, and I've looked at some just stupid stuff. And I think probably the most lethal attack with a knife, I think, is the sewing machine bit. And that video that I watched addresses it. You have to look at it and you'll find it, and I think you should watch it. However, what I find quite nonsensical is they do a double lock, arm lock on sort of thing. You know what I mean? Sorry. They do this double lock arm without my special training arm thing that I've got upstairs. But you know what I mean? And then they release it, and then it's this, biting, this, headbutting, this. Let's just go through why I don't think those three things all of the time work. Let's take the headbutt. Now I'm 6'1", so if I'm gonna butt somebody in the face, they've pretty much got to be the same height as me. If they're Tyson Fury's height, 6'8" odd, where do you suppose my head's going to be going when I'm headbutting? Where do you suppose? Is it going to go straight across his nose? I'm 6'1", he's 6'9". Think about it. Where do you think it's going to go? Where would you say it was go? I would probably say it probably be hitting him and on the chest. Oh, wean me, baby. Yeah. Release my mucus from my I've got a cold. Thanks. Oh, yeah, it's loosening up all the mucus on my chest. It ain't gonna work. Similarly, I'm 6'1", my wife's 5'1". So she's defending against me attacking her with a knife, which I wouldn't, because I love the bits and respected the bits. But if that were the case, where is her head when she tries to headbutt me? Where do you honestly think the head is going to go? Where do you think the head is going to land? On the chest. So to have a headbutt, which they are effectual, I can tell you, especially if you get it right there, your nose will, and I've had that. So I know now, I can talk from experience. But the chap that headbutted me was the same height as me. And then I had another occasion where a short little dwarf tried to headbutt me. He had to jump up, and even him trying to jump up, he couldn't headbutt me because I was too tall. He could land me here, which is nothing. He could not land me in a boat race in the face. So, headbutting, yes, but also no. The next thing is biting. Could you give biting to somebody that had bad teeth? If you are a fit, healthy 25-year-old, you will probably have a good set of gnashes on you. What happens if you don't? As we get older, we can have dental issues. Apart from my two teeth here that got knocked out when I was a kid, they're crowned. Incidentally, I want to get them redone at some point. That's the thing with me, I get a bit, but what I'm trying to say to you is my teeth is quite strong. And there has been instances where I have bitten people, real life in a fight, on more than one occasion. And it's always been to the fingers. And it got you like that, like, always to the hand. Always. But if you try and bite, say here, get away because I don't want to spill my coffee, sip my coffee, fine. What do you think is going to happen? My fingers are your mouth. Get the fuck off. Get off. Get off me. Don't you think? even with one hand trying to control it. Get off. You're still going to have that. Step back, get off. Well, what do you think is going to happen? If you've got that there and you're biting there, what do you think is going to happen? Get off me. You are running the risk of your pearly whites, your teeth going flying. And the final thing is, in my opinion, this ineffectual hammer fisting. Okay, if you're hammer fisting behind the back of the neck, yeah, I can see that. You still run the risk of, if you don't get that hammer fist right, the little finger taking the brunt. And the top of the head is hard. Yes, if you go across the collarbone, you might be able to break the collarbone, yes. But is there something better than all this ineffection? When I was getting trained, the instructor hit, I thought, mate, what the fuck are you going on about? Do you really know what you're talking about? Oh, come off it. You've got into that double lock. You've released a hand, whatever. You've released a hand. Double lock, one hand release, right? Yes, you've done all that business prior with a double and all that to stun them, so they're a bit weakened anyway. But then you released one hand. Why do that? Let them recover. Why? Why not just knock the head up? And I say this, okay, this has not been touted to children. And this is for only broad-minded adults. I will put that in a comment down below. Only for broad-minded adults. But you knock the head up. He's sewing machined you, and he's still going at it, or she's still going at it, to murder you, to take your life. I do think, proportionally, to end the threat, you've got a right to knock up and then slide it down and then go into what is known as a tiger claw. It's known as the tiger claw. A lot of these traditional kung fu styles will have this. Now, this is where the proportionate bit comes in. Because I am not telling you to crush it and rip out their windpipe. I'm not telling you to do that in no way, shape, or form. This is a controlling measure, which is proportionate to the attacker. Now you shout straight into their ear holes, their lug holes, drop that knife! Drop it! Drop it now! They drop the knife, you could either put your foot on it, kick it away. If there's no multiple attackers, kick it away to safety. You might have bystanders say, don't touch the knife, look after it, put your foot on it. Now you've got this person. So get down on your knees. Get down on your knees. Now you've become not the hunted, the predator, but without killing the person. I stress. Enough for them. Once the knife is gone, I think you can now go back down into the double arm control. This is only there proportionate to them holding the knife, which if there's CCTV cameras watching, they will see. They will see that this has been an unprovoked, almost ambush attack. You are peace-loving person. They are a known violent criminal. The CCTV can see the whole story unfolding right before their very eyes. This is proportionate. I grabbed then the attacker by the throat because he had tried to run me with a knife. on many occasions. Your defense, if it went to court, I doubt whether you'd even get arrested. He had attempted to take my life on many occasions. This was proportionate. It was self-defense, and it was proportionate to stop the threat. To stop the threat. You grabbed him, you like that, which I'm guessing the Green Berets, you know, and all that would have done in a wartime situation. We're not talking about wartime situation. We're talking about a control. Now, I've got this on, and this is quite firmly. I know it's on, but I can speak to you. I've got a bit of a red face. I do suffer from slightly raised high blood pressure, but my blood pressure is not increasing. And I would know if somebody had me like this, and they are, you'd know, and they've got control of the free floating arm, you know, you're done. You know, you're finished. And you now got to be compliant with the hunted, with your intended victim that you're intending to attack. Now it has changed quite dramatically. So do you understand what I'm trying to say? It's proportionate. It's proportionate. And you bark out as loud as you can, drop that knife, so it can be heard. So it can be heard. Do you understand what I'm trying to say to you? That has to be more decisive than taking somebody down to the ground. Because how do you know if there's multiple attackers and you've just taken somebody down to the ground? You could be Roycey Gracie, you know. Do they remember that? The Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. Sheesh. Talking about competence or grappling on the floor. Sheesh. But you could even be like that, and then somebody, it doesn't take much time, does it? For somebody that's standing behind, watching you grapple with his mate, another one of these attackers, if it's a multiple attack, to see that you've given him your back, because at one stage when you take them down, you will give them your back, and they just plunge their knife straight through the rear of your rib cage. Is it not better to take them like this, and somehow, if you got them like that, use them as a barrier? You told him to drop the knife. You put your foot on it and you said, "You keep away." You've got him now as your prisoner. Keep away. I'm in it. Tell him. Do it, says Craig. Do it, says Nick. Don't. This geezer's a fucking nut. Don't. All right, mate. All right. You win. You've used him as a barrier. Now, I have not seen that taught anywhere, Idan Abonik, anywhere in the Kalah system. I think it warrants serious change. Serious change. You are putting yourself out there as the main people to keep people safer. And I think this needs to be addressed. Okay, so thank you for listening. This is Cliff Graves, Trainwell Boxing. See ya. Ciao.